Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you from wherever we are. Um, we are coming to you remotely for another moment of hope with Upward Transition. And this morning, we just wanted to touch base about what is going on in the world, but especially how Upward Transitions funds our mission. That is really important. There's been a lot of movement in our world, particularly about how we fund our mission, and we just wanted to take a minute to tell you about how that happens and what our greatest needs are and what our concerns are, and just kind of keep you up to date about what is going on in the world of Upward Transition. The federal moratoriums on evictions were raised a couple of weeks ago, and that really is one of our concerns. The balance of our work has shifted during COVID. We would just really have to keep our eye on things. And so, Periann, can you share a little bit about your concern about particularly the eviction crisis that we see on the horizon?
Absolutely. I will say we've been pleasantly surprised that the eviction crisis has been delayed. It's not avoided at this point, but the moratoriums that we had both in the state and the federal moratoriums, ended on July 25th. But there's a 30-day waiting period before those landlords and property owners can file an eviction. So what we're thinking now is going to happen is all of these evictions that we've been afraid of for the past few months are going to start happening in late August and in September. The numbers that I've looked at have told us that probably around 45% of renters in the Oklahoma City community are at risk of being evicted. And when you talk about these renters, we're talking about families with small children. We're talking about seniors who might have nowhere else to go. They may be able to move in with a family on a temporary basis or a friend, but our homeless population could explode once these evictions start happening. There's been a widespread effort in the community to access funding for organizations like Upward Transitions to help these families and seniors and individuals at risk of becoming homeless or even becoming couch homeless, living in someone else's house. The CARES Act has provided funding for us specifically through the ESG CARES funding, as well as our regular ESG funding. And FEMA has also provided assistance through and I always use acronyms, and I need to stop doing that because I'm not. So Emergency Solutions Grant, which is specifically intended as a medium-term form of assistance for people who are struggling financially in a very low income households to pay their rent and utilities until they can reestablish their income. And then FEMA provides emergency food and shelter program funding so we can help with rent. And they did also provide us some additional CARES funding for that. So we will specifically be focusing a portion of each of those funds on people who have lost income due to the impact of COVID. And that could mean they completely lost a job, they just lost hours at work, or possibly they've had to stay home with a sick child or a sick family member. So we are helping those people get through this period of time so that we don't suddenly see a mass of homeless individuals in our community, because we are not prepared to handle doubling or tripling of our homeless population.
I know, it's just so scary to me. I'm a renter myself, and, just listening to the stories of those, that we work with, it's just, everybody is on edge. Mm-hmm. Everybody is, America in general, we're not good savers. And we're not good, and so we're all one paycheck away, and we don't have the savings to wage this crisis. But then, we didn't have the savings to wage a medical issue, not alone a pandemic. Gracious.
Right.
And so this is extraordinary. And so no one is to blame here for this this extraordinary situation that we're going through. And so, it really is going to take a community effort to support all of the people that are facing this uncertain time, not only the medical issue that we're facing, but the economic issues that we're facing. And so the people that we're working with, I was talking to somebody the other day, they never thought they would be here. They never thought that, that was true before COVID of most of our clients. It's absolutely true now of the clients that we're dealing with, particularly those who are out of work because of COVID related issues. And so that's definitely troubling to me.
Yeah, and it's not limited to one economic group. It goes
No.
board. There are people who have called us who, had very high paying jobs and
Yes.
suddenly didn't have a paycheck and didn't know how they were not it's not just rent too. It's people trying to pay their mortgages. And
Mm-hmm.
mortgage companies are a little bit easier to work with because they know you're committed long term. Landlords have families to feed. They have employees to pay as well. So when a landlord locally is not getting their pay from their renters, it is a whole trickle down effect on our community, and it affects just more than that one person. It affects an array of people depending on how big the organizations are. So definitely what we can do in the community right now is to help keep people housed, which trickles down to the property owners and the property managers who work for those companies who are collecting those rents to pay their people and to pay their bills, and keeps those people in their homes. So it just, has a far reaching effect more than this one small group. And the humility that so many people are feeling when they call and ask for help is very difficult. But I want to tell you, we have amazing case managers who will talk them through this and let them know that this happens and it's okay. And they should
Yes.
be ashamed that's
Yes.
why we're here. We are here to help. And
Yes.
no one should be ashamed that they have to reach out for help, because now is a very difficult time.
Yes. Yes. That may be the thing that I'm most proud of in the work that we do is there is absolutely no shame, and there is a abundance of compassion. Mm-hmm. So watching the work that we do at Upward Transitions and just watching the community, it's kind of hard to nuance. You talk about all these grants and you talk about all of these different things. It's kind of hard, particularly if you're talking to Joe Schmo or Joe Donor or, average citizen, how they could participate in alleviating some of this, maybe this pain that somebody is feeling, because they're like, wait, you have these grants and you have these things coming in. And so what would you say to somebody is Upward Transition's greatest need? Particularly as we have all of these things that are designated towards different things, but I think people don't understand that in those designations, there are some things that are getting missed. There are some needs that are not being filled. So kind of help everybody understand the difference between some of those funding streams.
Okay. The interesting thing about funders who are incredibly generous in helping us, execute our mission, but they want to know very specifically what our funds are spent on when they give them to us. So the margin is very narrow. It'll be very specifically rent for these type of people up to this amount during this period of time. And we write grants all the time to kind of broaden that scope so that when a need comes to us that there's not a grant that fits that need, we can still help the individuals. Those are a little bit harder to get because people want to be very, very specific because they want to measure everything. But what gets forgotten sometimes is people have other little emergencies that maybe only 1 out of 10 or 20 or 100 people have it, but they still need help with it. But none of the granting says you can do that. So we have to have discretionary funding to step in and say, well, no one took into account that this individual needed to get their birth certificates for their children to get into housing, but there was a name change on one of the birth certificates, and none of our funding allows us to help facilitate that. That's a little deep and complicated on how those things work, but we get knee deep into those sometimes and go, nope, our funding specifically says we can get this, not that.
Exactly.
Especially this day and age right now, is we're going to be dealing with a lot of people who have late fees, attorney's fees, court fees. Just because someone has an eviction notice and they need to go to court does not mean we can't stop that eviction. But there are a lot more fees that get involved once they get to that position of being in court, and those fees have to be paid. So it's good for us to have funding to help those types of things. And of course, we have our own bills. We have to pay for our utilities. We have to pay our employees. We have to make sure our employees have benefits. So we have to have the discretionary funding to make sure that we can show up every day and do our work. What's been interesting with the COVID virus is we've had to work remotely with our clients, and we've had to have staff able to work from home. So that's brought in a whole new form of technology for us, that we were doing this. We weren't
like this. Exactly.
Zoom, was a completely different meaning to me before all of this started. So we've had to make some investments in technology. So those are things that kind of get missed in the grand scheme of this is a crisis, and we're focused on helping the people most at need, but our organization has needs to be able to continue doing those things. So I would say just funding that is, not earmarked for anything specific, that allows us to say, yes, we can take care of that for this individual, or yes, we can make sure that our bills are paid so that we can come in every day and do this important work. That really
I may trademark that statement right there. Funding that allows us to say yes. It's just, because we have some really amazing grants and we have some really amazing grantors, but they allow us to do some very specific things, and we need gifts that allow us to say yes. And that's a beautiful way to say that. Allow us to say yes, and fill in some gaps. I may come up with some cool things to do that. And so, it's just a beautiful thing. I think, it's especially in this time where we literally don't know what tomorrow will bring. We need dollars that allow us to say yes. Yes. And so I think that's going to be the necessary things, and it's made us be a little more creative. If you've been watching our social media, we've been doing some new things and partnering with some new people this last week. Normally we have a celebrity wait night where we get the OSU and the OU celebrities, to have this celebrity wait night. All right, you.
My background was all OSU stuff, and I've changed it out.
We do this really cool event where we have everybody together and we do this celebrity wait night, but we can't do that right now. And so, we have to be really creative, and I'm really grateful to Hideaway Pizza for giving us 4 locations where we could do carry out or dine in. And, we have some incredible community partners like Hideaway that are being really flexible and helping us, think differently about what those kind of fundraisers look like. And so, right now we're doing one with a home baker called Mama Don Bakes that other nonprofits have worked with. And she just bakes for nonprofits. You can find her on Facebook, and she donates 50% of whatever she bakes to the nonprofit of the month. And so right now she's baking for us.
Yes.
So go buy some treats from Mama Don Bakes. Find her on Facebook. And so, we're having to be really creative. And then, in a couple weeks, Kendra Scott is going to do a giving day for us. And so you can shop on August 17th and 18th for us. And so, we're having to be really creative in what we're doing and how we're doing it and all those kind of things, which is really good, but really different, because the world is different. And so we're hoping that you out there are coming along with us, so that we can have those funds that allow us to say yes. I'm going to trademark that. That was beautiful, Periann. But you know, we're just trying to find those dollars and the ways that we can support those our clients that are just in the middle of everything else.
That's right. And we depend on our community partners in so many ways. Not only do they help us raise funds, but they help us raise awareness. I know I really enjoyed the last couple of years on our Kindred Back days, standing in the store and greeting people and just getting to tell our story. And not only is it people who already know us who come support, but it's people who are learning about us. And that gives me the opportunity to share our story with new people. And you know, I love to share our story and talk about what we do and the amazing work we've been doing in this community for 95 years.
I know, 95. I know. You know, and that 95-year-old legacy is amazing. And what we've learned over those 95 years is important. And one of the things that we've learned over those 95 years is causing us to launch something new. Our giving circle is something that is new. And so this fall,
excited about that.
We are launching a giving circle. What we have found statistically is that $1,000, if you infuse $1,000 into a family or an individual, it will change their trajectory. It will change their trajectory possibly for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And they won't need assistance again. And that's what the statistics are telling us. And so our giving circle is that. People that we are inviting people to invest $1,000 in upward transitions. And those people who are committed to giving $1,000 a year to upward transitions will be a part of our giving circle. And what that means is that you are committing to a higher level of partnership with us. You are committing to a higher level of engagement with our clients. We will celebrate you for doing so, but what it really means is you're going to change somebody's life. And the statistics tell us that at that level, you are changing somebody's trajectory. And so we're going to ask you to consider that, to do that, to watch for more information about that. But I'm really excited that we're doing that because $1,000, a lot of people in this community can do that. And it's really a meaningful impact for a lot of people, particularly right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When we did emergency relief in April, May, and June, and July for individuals impacted by COVID, it was interesting to watch the average assistance that we provided. Most people received 1 or 2 months worth of assistance. And in April, May, and June, the average amount was closer to $650 each month. But as we got into July and late fees were building up and other things were being tacked on to these overdue bills, it bumped up to $850. So that's how much it hurts people when they aren't able to pay bills on time. Those late fees can, you know, and if you're struggling to pay a $650 bill, an extra $200 can be devastating. So that $1,000 can definitely get people caught up on their monthly bills. So that's an important earmark for us.
Yep. So I'm really excited to see how this takes off. See, we already have people in our universe that are giving at this level. I'm excited to see who else will partner with us at this level. You know, our community partners, we're doing the Mama Don this month. and the Kinderschot in a couple weeks. And so, you know, we are finding our way to make it work for our clients. And I'm just really thankful for the partners and the donors in our community that are hanging in there with us through all of this, to support the people that need it most. And so I know you're passionate about this. You've been with Upward Transitions for 10 years, and I'm coming up on my first anniversary, and
That's
I
right.
couldn't be more excited about this organization. And it's been a year. Woo! And people, you know, I just know that people are going to need our help more than ever, and I'm just knowing that people will step up and help them. So
Absolutely. And Micah, I know you get these phone calls just like I do from our donors who say, what's going on over there? What are y'all doing? Tell me about your work. And it's just a conversation that we're having to share. And we love doing that. And they are so supportive and caring about the people we're serving and the work we're doing. So just that, then they go out and then they share our message. So sharing the message is so important to let people know the work that's being done in the community by Upward Transitions and our amazing case managers. We're saving lives every day, and we get those notes in the mail from our clients and emails telling us that, you know, they don't know what would have happened if we hadn't have been there as their safety net. So we're doing the good work every.
Yeah. So we're really grateful for our team. We're really grateful for all of you that have tuned in today, and we hope that we have brought you a little bit of hope. We hope you will find a way to participate with us as we bring hope to others. And we hope that you are having a wonderful day. Go find a little place to give hope to others. And we hope you will tune in next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.